here, So Wizard Podcast. We are talking to Emily, and I love your tagline, Emily likes to draw and paint stuff.
Yes, that's the best thing I could come up with.
So, what's your kind of overall theme with this? You have a lot of varied stuff that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I have a lot of cats, because apparently I like pussy. Who knew?
All right.
I don't. I don't like cats. But yeah, so, and then I have kind of a knitting following, so I have a lot of stuff like Bitches Get Stitches. I don't know. I have a lot of shit. I have unicorns, cats. It's kind of taken over my world. So.
Was it just a side project and it just snowballed out of control?
Yes, it did. Yep. Right. I drew a puking unicorn years and years ago, like 10 years ago, and I was giggling when I was drawing it, and I was like, man, other people might like this. And so I just started doing craft shows and just rolling the money back into it, and now I have way too much stuff, and
Very
it works.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it looks like you have a children's book?
Yep. My roommate and I, we often collaborate on art, and so we did a children's book, and then we also did an adult book called Pussy Adventure. Go figure. Total true story about my cats. We are absolutely sober when we wrote it, of course.
Sure.
But, it's the way the best art gets made.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
So you just kind of do whatever comes to mind and have fun with it?
Yeah, I try not to do the same stuff that everybody else does, and I'm a little out of my element sometimes at, like, conventions, like Comic-Cons, because I don't do a ton of fan art. Like, every now and again, something will sneak into the fan art realm. Like, I have my Stranger Kitty thing. Some kid walked by yesterday and gave me a way better name for it, but I couldn't tell you what it was because I have the memory of a goldfish. But yeah, so it's really kind of taken a life of its own. I enjoy it. It's fun. Get to meet all sorts of crazy people.
Do you find that the not doing the fan art that a lot of other people do helps you stand out?
I wasn't sure the first time. This is either my 5th or 6th year here at Boston.
Oh, wow.
And I wasn't sure, so I definitely think I'm in the higher, I would say, sales bracket for the Artist Alley. So I would say yes, maybe it does help me.
Yeah.
But I thought for sure maybe I'll be a fish out of water. I don't always get the crowd that a lot of the other booths get, but I get that I don't want to say the underdog crowd, but the crowd that is underrepresented here. So they see my stuff and they go, oh, look, adult humor. It's not just, big tittied superhero women and, which is great too, but.
Yeah, your use of colors and your unique art style really stands out from a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, I am an accidental color person. I never liked color. All my tattoos originally were black and white. I was like, I'm never going to do color. Color's not my thing. And then all of a sudden I wore a pink shirt one day thinking I was funny. And my friends are like, that's so not you. And now all of a sudden everything I have is pink.
Now it's all you,
yeah. Yep.
So what is your medium? Is it digital? Because a lot of it looks watercolor.
Yeah, so I use gouache, which is kind of like if watercolor and acrylic had a baby. And somebody walked up to me one day and they were like, oh, you use watercolor? And I was like, yeah, it's easy. And they're like, watercolor's not easy. And I was just like, yes, it is. And then I realized I wasn't actually using watercolor.
Okay.
But gouache kind of really works well because I'm more of a pen and ink kind of a person. Like, that's how I started. And then I just kind of morphed into it because I was like, oh, well, I can just use one product, get a little more of a dark line that you can't get with watercolor, And so I just bought some new watercolor, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go back to maybe trying to ink and then throw watercolor on top of that. So I'm going to maybe switch it up a little bit, which I haven't done in a while.
Yeah.
So, because the pandemic has killed the creative for a lot of people, I'm sure.
Yeah, you probably had a rough last year and a half, not with conventions.
Yeah, it's incredibly hard to keep that mojo going. When
I can only imagine, yeah. Do you do an online store or anything like that you want to point people to?
Yeah, I have, my website is emilymartian.com, so it's just EMILYMARTIAN.com, and I have most of my stuff on there, so.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, we want to let you back to the con, so awesome. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks for